going on, everybody? It's your boy, the Uncrowned Otaku. And that was a short-lived undefeated streak. Shortest in history of history, I would believe. But it's okay. So, Deathbattle came out. Zatanna versus Scarlet Witch. And you know what? In hindsight, I'm not even mad that Zatanna won. Because after I made my prediction, I went back and I was like, hold on. Dr. Fate was in a death battle. Did Dr. Fate win his death battle? And he fought Doctor Strange. And yes, while Dr. Fate is a god, Dr. Fate won against Doctor Strange. And I was like, So in theory, by transit of properties, Zatanna's probably going to win this one too. Interesting. Is Scarlet Witch stronger than Doctor Strange? Yes. But does Doctor Strange beat Scarlet Witch? Yes, he does. Interesting. So, is Zatanna weaker than Dr. Fate? Also, I believe, yes, personally. But then I asked the overall broadened question that I always tell myself, and I don't know why I didn't listen to myself, why I didn't listen to Past Dawn. And I always stress this. Is DC a more powerful universe than Marvel? Yes. That's why after I was watching, I was like, well, it makes sense. If you put Justice League against Avengers, the Justice League members, with the exception of Batman, vastly superior to the Avengers. If you take their villains, the DC Universe villains, for the most part, vastly superior than a lot of the Marvel villains. So DC, in the hierarchy of power, just oddly superior to the Marvelverse when you scale power for power, in my humble opinion. Now, there are going to be exceptions. Before y'all get in the chat and roast me, there will be exceptions, and I'm sure y'all are going to list them. But that's not even what we hear about. I took the L, so did my boy Chandler with a Z. He took the L too. So right now, we're both 1 for 2. And we're moving on to this next death battle. In the left corner, we have the founding father of the feud of the, I guess, century, because they've been feuding for century. We have the one, the only, Jonathan Joestar with his breathing technique. Hello. In the left corner, we have, oh, dang, I can't even say half the introductions I want to say because it will contain spoilers. I'm going to just say it this way. We have one of the members of the Demon Slain Corps. We have the Water Pillar. Well, no, he's not the Water Pillar. Dang, I can't say what I want to say. Well, we have the man who's learning how to breathe correctly. Tanjiro, Kamado. So it's Tanjiro versus Jonathan Joestar. Just for the sake of me making sure I put the people in the right place. This is editing Don, and I'm not going to edit this out, but Jonathan, Tanjiro. Cool. And if y'all couldn't tell, I'm going to get right to the point. If you couldn't tell by my shirt, I'm going for Tanjiro in this death battle. Now, I got a little bit of logic behind it. And I do want to preface this by saying, what they're going to do with this death battle, there's no way they can do this death battle without it containing spoilers from the manga. So people who don't read the manga and people who only watch the anime, I think you honestly should not watch the breakdown for the death battle. If you want to watch the battle itself, that's cool. But if you don't want to be spoiled, don't watch the breakdowns for Tanjiro here, because there's no way they can do this death battle without going into the last fight of the series. Most of Tanjiro's feats are going to come from the 2 last fights of this series, because that's where you really get to see him bust out his full potential. What's his full potential, you ask? Well, I can't tell you, because then that's going to contain spoilers. And I don't want to lose viewership. We at 891 subscribers. I'm trying to boost that bad boy up to 1,000. I can't have y'all dropping off because you like Uncrowned Otaku spoiling stuff. Nah, that ain't me spoil free. We spoil free over here. But my logic behind it is that Jonathan Joestar, he was fighting mainly Dio, and he was just learning how to breathe and stuff. And we've all seen JoJo by now. Like, that's years old. So we all know what happens at the end. He gets his head cut off, but he does take Dio down with him in a watery coffin. Hello. But let's look at his feats, really. He gets an enhanced physical, sure. A little bit more speed, sure. But let's look at what happens with Tanjiro. And for the sake of just thinking about what Tanjiro's universe breathing can do, look at the Hashiras. We've seen what Tengen can do. We've seen what Rengoku can do. So if Tanjiro was to master breathing, and we're just assuming here, if he was to master breathing, he would probably do feats that scale to Hashiras, right? Maybe. I don't. I'm pretending like I don't know. I don't know. I'm speaking all of this in hypothetical. I'm really not going to spoil anything. So in Tanjiro's world of breathing, it looks like they can recover from slightly what would be lethal attacks, like Tengen with the poison. He was able to breathe and slow down the poison, got his arm cut off, didn't die from blood loss, was able to stop that with the breathing. Look at Rengoku. He was fighting with those fatal injuries, and he fought the third. Yeah, he was the third. He fought the third upper moon. Kind of like, I guess technically he still lost, but it felt like it was to a draw because the third moon, if he didn't run, he would have died too. Like Tanjiro would have X'd him out for sure. So, and then the reactions, like, think about Jonathan's opponents. Now think about Tanjiro's opponents and what the lower moons did and what the upper moons were doing. I feel like the people Tanjiro are fighting are stronger, faster. And as a demon slayer, he's able to keep up with that. He's using his water breathing techniques. He's learning about the Hinokami dance technique. That's going to be tough. And I think if he can learn that, that's something Jonathan's going to struggle with. Did you see what Gyu did to the little moon dude? When he did the final water breathing, the still breathing or whatever it was called, and he just went, whoop, one quick movement, sliced that dude's head off before he even knew what happened. Jonathan Joestar is not keeping up with that. Tanjiro's sense of smell, he can smell openings. I believe that's what that thread is when we saw it in season 1, where he'd be like, I can smell something. And he would see a little thread and he'd know exactly where to cut. Jonathan ain't doing that. Maybe he is. I don't remember season 1 all that well, not gonna lie. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I don't remember Jonathan's season that well. But I don't think he has anything that Tanjiro can't keep up with, that Tanjiro hasn't seen. Tanjiro is fighting demons that have lived for centuries. Tanjiro's fighting demons with supernatural abilities. And all he has is his sword. Granted, his sword has like properties that are fit to kill a demon, but still, he's fighting people that are just genetically built to be superior, and Tanjiro's winning. And Tanjiro still has a lot of growth to do. So I'm giving this fight to Tanjiro. I don't see how it can go any other way. If y'all rooting for Jonathan Joestar, comment down below. What kind of feat does he have? What makes you lean towards the Joestar? Because if this was any other Joestar, well, if this was Jotaro or anyone after him, if they had a stand, if it was any Joestar with a stand ability, I would have went with them. But Jonathan, no stand, no chance. Like I said, what do y'all think? Comment down below. Hey, it's going to be a good death battle. We're not even worried about the L. We're getting back on the winning side now. Make sure y'all check out my boy Chandler with a Z. Link to his channel is going to be down below. Uncrowned Kingdom. I've been your boy, the Uncrowned Otaku. That's the fire that keeps my kingdom safe from all harm. Holla at me, y'all. Y'all got to talk to me in the comments. What's up?